seated in silence, some in prayer, as they profess their support for Palestine Action, a group now designated a terrorist organisation by the UK government. They know the cost of what this means. As the police move in numbers, some are carried away, others slowly walked away. It is impossible to ignore their ages or the fact that they would be considered to be terrorists since the government prescribed any support for Palestine Action itself. But still they turned up and took part.
Although our government has at last recognised the Palestinian state, they're doing nothing to make sure it happens, and that there's a real peace process going on and people are still starving there. So we have to be here.
These protesters are being arrested under UK terrorism law. Now, what they are doing here is simply sitting silently and holding their signs, and that's enough to earn them a sentence of up to 14 years in prison.
For nearly 2 months, activists have turned up with their signs testing not just the UK's terrorism laws, but the very notion of freedom of speech and the right to protest. Police urged people to not take part this Saturday because of what they said would be a strain on resources, especially in the aftermath of the attack on a synagogue in Manchester, which has raised fears of increasing tensions and violence against Jewish communities. But those taking part say that clamping down on protests is in itself divisive.
There has been absolutely no violence from the protesters in the several weeks these have been going on. In Scotland, police have decided not to arrest. Here, they have decided to arrest. That's a decision. That's a political decision.
The ongoing legal challenge between the government and Palestine Action continues as it seeks to be legitimised. But the protests continue, putting pressure on policing, the judicial system, and the right to peaceful protest itself. Sonia Gallego, Al Jazeera, London.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.